Welcome everybody to Command Combat Battle Reports. Today we are doing the Grim and the Grave, which is the latest expansion to Total War Warhammer. It is an expansion to two of the armies that already existed. It's not an entire army in and of itself. They are additions to the Empire and to the Undead. Or sorry, vampire counts. That is the politically correct phrase for them apparently. And you do not want to take off a vampire. Anyway, so what we got on the Empire side is we have a lot of the new units that have just been released. So that's what most of the armies are mostly made of. We have Stirland's Revenge, the Free Company Militia. They're Pistoliers, as you can tell. They've got the Rocket Battery. Back here they have Spearmen, a couple of units of Spearmen. You got a Witch Hunter back here. By the way, not all of these units are new, but anyway. And then this guy is new, though. Volkmar the Grim. He is in his Magic Chariot, which I sometimes feel like I'm in my Magic Chariot, but that's usually just when I'm very, very drunk. Anyway, pretty fancy type of thing. He even has a speaker here, which he can, you know, sing. He kind of is Sergeant Pepper up there. Anyway, so and he definitely has a flashy costume for it. So he's their leader. And down here we got the Flagellants, which are some of my favorites. They basically are. Well, they're not just Mad Max guys, but they are wearing their masks. But they're like religious zealots. They just simply will go do anything they have to win a fight, and they pretty much are suicidal. Over here you've got the Tattersouls, which is a special unit of Flagellants that are, you know, more elite. And then over here you got the Reichsguard. This is the elite Reichsguard and the regular Reichsguard. Can you tell them apart? I think these guys have a little more gold on them. Oh yeah. Definitely. In fact, they have the wings on them. These guys have no wings on them. So, anyway, and that is it. Looks like they are set up. They have some march columns back here, so it looks like they're set up to march somewhere. Plus, they have their cavalry just ahead of them to screen them. You got the Pistoliers and the artillery over here, so they're maybe shooting from where they are. There you go. You got a nice big hill over here with, yeah, impassable terrain right there. So they're probably going to watch for the Empire, probably going to take that hill. Meanwhile, over here we got the vampire counts and their undead hordes. We got the Chillgeists, which are hex wraiths over here. They're kind of spooky-looking ghost people, and then you got the demons. Or no, sorry, devils over here. They are the devils of Schwarzhofen, and the Schwartz is definitely with them. Eee! That was scary. Schwartz is definitely with that guy. Taking up the back are Great Sword Infantry, the Grave Guard. And ahead of them are Crypt Ghouls. So it looks like the Crypt Ghouls are like in this big, and the Festers and the Dusk. Specialized Crypt Ghouls. Yeah, they look specialized alright. Well, that guy really looks specialized. He takes the special bus to the battlefield, certainly. Oh, I see the little purple things up here. I think that means elite unit or new. I'm not quite sure. Certainly they're the ones with the little purple symbol on them. Anyway, over here you've got the Sternsmen. They're more Graveguard. So it looks like you got Graveguard sort of the big front and back, and then you got ghouls over there. It's kind of like when teachers take their students out for a walk. You're going to have teachers at the front and back and all the students in between. So I guess that's what the Crypt Ghouls are, all the children. Alright, over here you got Manfred von Karstein. He is a new unit. New guy on top of his steed, his undead horse, and Necromancer inside of the dead cart. So it's bring out your dead, bring out your dead. And these guys are the ones calling it, although it's more like I really shouldn't make fun. All right, they'll probably show up at my door. So yeah, it looks like they're just gonna go in sort of a big horde, go to wherever they're needed, and do what the undead does. Just kind of, you know, go out and fight however they're gonna, in whatever unit they're in or formation they're in. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. Let's get it going. And it looks like, I'm not sure what the ghouls are. It looks like they're kind of going towards their right. While yes, indeed, oh yeah, just as predicted, the Empire is heading up onto this hill. They're screening with their cavalry and moving everybody else in march column formation while moving everybody else up there. Let's take a look at the overall big map. You can see it much clearer here. Yeah, the Empire is screening up their cavalry up there. You'll probably see them go and guard this road, because that's the only way up here unless you have a flying creature, or they're going to have to go around the back there. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with that. Meanwhile, of course, they have a lot of their units marching up behind. You have over here the undead seems to be just sort of shambling along, which again that's pretty much what they do. So let's go on down here and see how they're going to do it. Well, it looks like the devil bats are just kind of I keep calling them devil bats. They're just devils, but what the heck. They're kind of holding position and watching what the Empire is doing up there, while meanwhile you have over here the cavalry starting to move up into position. Now, of course, they do not have enough to take on all of that Empire cavalry, which is guarding that. They have successfully gotten into position, so they are not going to be able to take that. The undead see it, and they are starting to move around. The ghouls, meanwhile, the undead are, wow, they do not exhaust. They are just running. I guess that's the advantage of being undead. And man, they are just eager to get over there. So they're seeing that this... Oh, hey, that is an undead face there. Anyway, seeing that this is pretty well blocked off, they are now going to make their way around here, I believe. Yeah, looks like it. Then this cavalry keeps feinting this way, probably to keep their cavalry over here. Yeah, try to keep them from going somewhere else. And the devils are pulling back because Pistoliers are now in position and ready to fire down on the undead as they go by.
Moving now.
The undead is sort of down there. They haven't quite figured out they're not going to be able to climb up there. However, the pistols probably can't shoot over that edge there. And it looks like there is there's some kind of smoke going over them. Maybe they are all smoking. Meanwhile, okay, now the devils are starting to go around here towards the cavalry. Watch them try to break that up, apparently. And the witch hunters moving along with them. You have one of the Volkmars heading over to there. And the spell is going down over the cavalry, while meanwhile the devils are moving over here towards the infantry that are not in position. Oh, and it looks like they're heading towards their rocket batteries. Oh yes, they're coming down. They're hitting their artillery. That Empire artillery is going to be really hurt. They are not going to be doing their thing anyway. So now you have the undead infantry is moving around the different sides. Their cavalry has moved up here and hit their flagellants. They were not completely in position. Actually, they hit their spearmen, which is usually pretty good for them, but I think they were still moving in position. And some of the Imperial men are moving. It looks like, yeah, the Empire is accepted. The battle is on. They are moving their position around. They do have some spear infantry in position, waiting for the undead to come up and get them. They're in position, or they were in position. They started to move. A little bit less effective when they're moving, but looks like they're holding their position. Now the engagement is on here, and you have the Pistoliers have gotten into position over here and are shooting at the undead as they come up that hill. Let's take a look at this other side, where the other side of the battle is taking place. It looks like the undead, some undead infantry went over there. This is one of their elite units. What of the Crypt? The Festers of the Crypt, and the Sternsmen. Two of their elite units have come in and hit the Reichsguard along with their leader, Manfred von Karstein. He hit them, but now he is pulling away from them. That was a bit much. And the Reichsguarders are also pulling back. They have had enough of the combat over here. But some of them are going to go ahead and get around the vampire leader. They're starting to pull back, and meanwhile they're being chased very, very fast by the... what are they called again? The Crypt Ghouls. Meanwhile the devils are hitting them, so now the Reichsguard are fighting in all different directions. They are not united, but they are just fighting in three different fronts. Over here, now that the rocket battery is getting back to the men are getting back to the rocket battery itself to try to fight it there. There's a devil lying dead there. Some of the flagellants are getting in position along with their leader, along with Sergeant Pepper. That's what I'm going to call him. And they have created a line now. Now it is just simply a matter of the engagement. Flagellants are getting around the flank. The Empire has the longer line, so they're going to be able to get in behind some of these Crypt Ghouls. Meanwhile, those Pistoliers are firing down at the ghosts. Don't ask me how that works, how the pistol shots are killing the ghosts, but somehow. And the Flagellants are coming in on the flank and taking out those Crypt Ghouls. Look at them. Oh, they are jumping in there, just doing Yes, doing all kinds of damage. They have no fear of death for themselves or for their enemy. And so they have them kind of wrapped up there in a little bit of a grip there. The undead cavalry, the ghost cavalry, is getting out of there. Meanwhile, there is a front here as well. Of course, cavalry is usually better when it's charging, but they have gotten into position. The undead is bringing in their war wagon, going, bring out your dead! Bring out your, where's your dead? And now, Reiksguard is seeing him, but they're busy fighting the vampire leader. Well, actually, he isn't a vampire, is he? He's, well, Manfred von Karstein. Actually, I think he is a vampire, I forget. Anyway, they're poking him with their long sticks. He's going between two different units. Meanwhile, the cart just seems to be standing there looking at people, reminding them, hey, this is what happens to you when you die. Let's take another look over at this other side. It's really a two-front battle, and these ghost cavalry keep going back and forth. Oh, and there goes that. Oh, that artillery went in. They fired. It was pretty impressive, but it missed the ghosts altogether. But you do have the leader now in the middle of them, fighting them, chopping them down, standing there up there trying to give a little speech or sing to them or something. Of course, he does have his speaker there. He chased away the ghosts. The ghosts are scared, running away, and the ghouls do not seem to know what to do. They are surrounded on all sides. The pistoliers are shooting at them. Oh, and there comes some more of that artillery going down on those ghosts. They missed again. I don't know exactly what those explosions would do to them anyway, but it looks like they might have them wrapped up here pretty soon. The undead, meanwhile, on this side, is just a fight fest over here. And the leader is surrounded. They're all chopping away at him. He is chopping back at them. And there's a front going on between them. Over here, they seem to be continuing to fight that big undead chariot, which is continuing to move, starting to move away. Look pretty harmless anyway. I'm not quite sure what they're hoping to accomplish with that. Over here, it looks like they have cleaned them up. They have gotten rid of all the ghouls. They have destroyed them. I don't see the ghosts anywhere in sight. And so they are now starting to move around. Looks like they will probably try to move around here. And the leader is dead. The undead lord has fallen in battle. And so that is all that is left. That is a bunch of the Grave Guard. Their elite units. And the Necromancer. Oh, he's a spellcaster. Oh, but they just took him out as well. And that will do it. That ends the battle. Let's take a look at what the casualties were over here. It looks like Manfred von Karstein, he deployed 606, he lost 686. That's what you're going to get in an undead battle because, of course, they have no fear. They're going to stay in battle and fight to the last undead ghoul. Meanwhile, the Empire deployed 741, lost 360, basically lost about half of their force there, but they are still standing on the battlefield. That makes them the winner. So he gets to have the quote, because of course history is written by the victors. We are the masters of night, and humans are but our cattle. Oh, this was from the losers. So the losers are apparently writing history. So I guess there you go. While we walk upright, they're on their knees. Manfred von Karstein, speaking from the grave, which is what he already was. Well, anyway, that'll about do it for us here. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to watch more. Tell your friends. Share this everywhere. Shout out your window and tell everybody about it. Happy gaming, everybody.